Welcome back to the Historical Photos channel. In this video, take a trip back in time and discover rare photos from America's fascinating past, including the legendary Wild West. Stay until the end. You'll be amazed. A stagecoach heads from Dolores, Colorado, to the San Juan Mountains around 1890. Along dusty trails, travelers braved long journeys through breathtaking landscapes and rugged terrain. A view of C Street in Virginia City, Nevada, in 1864. At the height of the silver boom, the town bustled with miners, merchants, and adventurers chasing fortune in the heart of the American Wild West. Cowboys gather for dinner at the sprawling Ox Ranch in 1886. Stretching across parts of Texas, this ranch was a hub of life and labor in the heart of the American West. In October 1921, Sunset School in Mary, Pocahontas County, West Virginia, stood as a snapshot of rural American education, simple but essential for the children growing up in the region's remote mountain communities. In 1876, Deadwood in the Dakota Territory bustled with gold rush energy. A fast-growing town of adventurers, traders, and dreamers, where daily life unfolded in the hopes of striking it rich in the American frontier. Between 1890 and 1895, in Asheville, North Carolina, a man stands beside a Conestoga wagon pulled by oxen. Two rest in the dusty street, a quiet glimpse of a time when heavy loads moved slowly, and every stop mattered. Cowgirls of the Wild West broke barriers, riding, roping, and performing alongside men. They made their mark in rodeos and traveling shows, showcasing grit and skill in an era defined by bold pioneers and shifting frontiers. In Cades Cove, Tennessee, around 1890, a group of men turns a threshing wheel by hand. Their teamwork reflects a time when farming relied on muscle and unity, long before machines made the work faster, but far less personal. During the Klondike Gold Rush in 1899, miners in Dawson City, Yukon Territory, paid for groceries with gold dust. In a time when every gram counted, gold changed hands like loose change in the heart of the northern frontier. On the porch of his cabin in Eagle Creek, Idaho, 1889, a man rests after another day in the mountains. Beside him, a gold pan leans by the steps, perhaps holding tales of golden nuggets found in the cold mountain streams. Around 1880, North School in Seattle stood as one of the city's earliest public education landmarks. The wooden building, modest yet sturdy, welcomed young pioneers whose lessons would shape the future of the Pacific Northwest. In 1910, Milwaukee, the Flying Merkel roared ahead with bold engineering and bright orange flair. Considered one of the most innovative motorcycles of its time, it blended speed, style, and cutting-edge technology for the early 20th century. Around 1898, Mary stands outside her hotel, built on a mining claim near Bonanza Creek, just south of Dawson City. During the short Yukon summers, she grew lettuce on the cabin roof, a small act of resilience during the height of the gold rush. In 1938, a family lives aboard a floating house on the Kanawha River in Charleston, West Virginia. The modest yet practical riverboat home reflects both the economic hardship and the quiet ingenuity of American life during the Great Depression. The Bowery Market in early 1900s New York was a melting pot of cultures and noise. With crowded stalls and shouting vendors, the city pulsed with energy. A vibrant snapshot of urban life at the turn of the century. In Miles City, Montana, around 1885, this store offered a bit of everything, from hardware to groceries. It was the heart of the local community, where cowboys and townsfolk stocked up for life in the Old West. Camping atop a massive fallen tree in 1917, this group embraced the grandeur of California's sequoias, a reminder of when exploring nature was a true family adventure. In 1912, this newlywed couple poses in front of their small cabin in the Great Smoky Mountains. A simple and touching portrait of love and hope amid the rugged southern landscape. Around 1880, the Meade family lived in this dugout home in Ford County, Kansas. A simple earthen shelter, typical of pioneers who braved the harsh conditions of the American Great Plains. In the late 19th century, 5 men navigate the Kentucky River on a flatboat loaded with barrels. This was how many goods were transported through America's inland waterways at the time. In the late 19th century, the Warwick Drug Store in North Dakota was more than a place for medicine. It was a gathering spot. At its center, an epic stove warmed both conversations and harsh winters. In 1907, cowboys of the legendary XIT Ranch in Texas pose in front of their bunkhouse. They were part of one of the largest cattle operations in the world, living a rugged life shaped by dust, sun, and the constant rhythm of hooves. In 1865, Hudson Street in New York bustled with shops, wagons, and workers. It was the pulsing heart of a rapidly growing post-Civil War city, where every corner echoed with ambition and movement. In 1914, a family gets ready for a Sunday drive in their open touring car. Back then, going for a drive was an exciting novelty, a symbol of progress, freedom, and connection with a rapidly growing world. The Alamo in San Antonio, Texas, photographed in 1911. Long before becoming a tourist attraction, the site still held the silence of its past. The scene of one of the most pivotal battles in Texas's fight for independence in 1836. Main Street in Goldfield, Nevada, in 1905. Horses, wagons, and bustling activity surround hotels, banks, and drugstores. A vivid snapshot from the height of the gold rush, when the town pulsed with dreams of fortune. In 1910, U.S. mail departed Sheboygan, Michigan by dog sled, bound for Point O'Pins and Walker's Point, a vital link for remote communities during the harsh northern winters. A crowded gold mining camp near Skagway, Alaska, in 1900. Hope, mud, and hard work defined daily life for those chasing fortune during the Klondike Gold Rush. A busy day on 42nd Street, New York City, around 1880. Carriages, pedestrians, and shops created the vibrant pulse of a city rapidly marching toward modernity. An East Tennessee mountain family stands outside their cabin in the 1890s. Amid a life of simplicity and isolation, these homes reflected resilience and a deep bond with the land. In the 1860s, a miner's boarding house in Palmetto, California offered more than shelter. It was a place of rest after long days in the mines. Places like this were vital to life on the expanding western frontier. In 1877, gold miners in Deadwood, Dakota Territory, searched for fortune in the hills. The town quickly boomed during the gold rush, drawing in adventurers, merchants, and dreamers from all over. An old Standard Oil gas station in Ann Arbor, Michigan, 1938. The simple, functional design marked the peak of America's car era, when gas was just cents a gallon, and full service came with every stop. In February 1905, the mighty Mississippi River froze solid. People crossed on foot or by sled, turning the iconic waterway into a vast icy landscape rarely seen before or since. In the early 1900s, linemen risked their lives on towering poles to bring electricity to towns and cities. A dangerous job, but vital to powering the march of modern progress. An Appalachian family stands outside their mountain cabin in West Virginia. A simple yet powerful scene that captures the hardship and quiet dignity of rural life in the late 19th century. In Lafayette County, Missouri, around 1910, a proud family poses beside their early automobile and loyal dog. A charming glimpse of modern life reaching rural America. In 1920, families enjoy auto camping by Silver Lake in Washington. With makeshift tents and cars nearby, this new style of leisure reflected the freedom of the automobile age. Around 1896, tents filled the Eureka Gold Camp in Washington. The note on the photo, Seattle and Tacoma Aves, shows miners' hopes, naming streets as if building a booming city. In 1915, the Coca-Cola Bottling Company in Terre Haute, Indiana, marked a new industrial era. This plant bottled the drink that would soon become one of the most iconic products of the 20th century. At the Sowers Lumber Camp in Michigan around 1904, men dried their socks, gloves, and shoes beside a company official. A simple moment capturing the tough rhythm of life in the logging camps. In 1910, Anderson County, Tennessee, a group gathers in front of a cabin to spin and wind wool. A tradition passed down through generations, vital for clothing and rural life at the time. Between 1904 and 1918, a man poses with his loyal dog in front of a cabin, deep in the Maine woods. A peaceful glimpse into rural American life, where solitude, nature, and companionship went hand in hand. This horse-drawn snow roller in Vermont, seen around 100 years ago, was used to pack down icy roads. Even after early cars arrived, many rural areas still relied on horse-drawn sleighs and work sleds during the winter months. Families journey westward along the Oregon Trail around 1882. Covered wagons, symbols of American expansion, moved through rugged terrain with the hope of a new beginning. 6th Avenue in New York City, 1870, where the elevated railway crossed Broadway. Seen from 33rd Street, this moment captures the city's early move toward modern public transit. A sod schoolhouse in District 62, just west of Myrna, Nebraska, in 1889. Simple structures like this were common on the prairie, where communities did what they could to provide education. A migrant family during the 1939 Dust Bowl. Like many others, they left everything behind in search of a better life, symbolizing the struggles faced by thousands across rural America. The homestead of the Ellefson family, immigrants from Norway, in Hendricks, Minnesota, around 1880. A portrait of the pioneering spirit that helped shape rural American communities. The little neighborhood store in Middlebury, Vermont, in 1940. A simple yet essential place where the community stocked up on supplies and shared stories of daily life. Car camping in Woodland Park, Colorado, in 1918. A new way to explore nature emerged with the automobile, blending adventure and freedom on the early roads of the 20th century. A towering wooden railroad bridge of the Northern Pacific Railway spans the vast valleys of Montana in 1883, a symbol of progress linking the American West to the rest of the country. A glimpse of daily life in rural Harlan County, Kentucky, around 1904. The simple scene captures the slower pace and quiet resilience of a time long gone, filled with untold stories. Changing the tires on a 1911 Model T Ford, using the original Ford toolkit. This glimpse into early automotive life highlights the simplicity and hands-on spirit that defined a new era of mobility. In 1886, a group of children gathers at an old cider mill below Little River Gap in Blount County, Tennessee. A quiet glimpse into daily life near the Great Smoky Mountains. In 1910, young Joseph Severio, just 11 years old, sold peanuts on the streets of Wilmington, Delaware. He had been pushing his cart for 2 years, a glimpse into the working childhoods common in early 20th century America. In the 1890s, a woman stands outside her modest one-room home in the coal camp of Rugby, Colorado. A barrel by the door and a coal shovel against the wall tell a quiet story of the tough daily life in the mining camps of that era. In 1898, during the height of the gold rush, a group gathers outside the Waffle Bakery and Turner & Co., auctioneers in Dawson City, Yukon. The town buzzed with dreams of quick fortune, and every corner held a new tale of ambition and hope. At a Cherokee cabin on the Qualla Reservation in North Carolina, a woman pounds corn into meal with a mortar and pestle. The log home, with its stone chimneys, reflects the simplicity of Cherokee homes around 1900. Many had nothing more than a hole in the roof. In 1889, the W.A. Connolly General Blacksmithing Shop in Fullerton, California, was a vital hub of hard work. Tools, horseshoes, and key parts were forged in fire, with the rhythmic clang of hammer on anvil echoing through the town. In 1935, in Hernshaw, West Virginia, a woman pumped water into a tub, part of the daily routine before plumbing. Each bucket was a testament to the strength and perseverance needed for everyday life in rural America. In 1853, the bustling St. Louis levee along the Mississippi River was alive with wagons, goods, and steamboats. This daguerreotype captures the heartbeat of American commerce in a rapidly growing frontier city. In May 1902, an Inuit family stands with their dogs in front of a sod house in Nome, Alaska. This moment captures a way of life shaped by harsh climates and ancestral knowledge passed down through generations. A proud family poses with their 1912 Speedwell in Seattle. With sleek lines and advanced engineering for its time, the car was a symbol of status and modernity in an America speeding toward the future. In the late 1920s, a Texaco gas station attendant chips away at a block of ice to chill Coca-Cola bottles. A typical sight of the time when ice was key to keeping drinks cold for travelers on hot American roads. In the winter of 1911, Niagara Falls nearly froze over. The roaring cascade slowed to a whisper, leaving behind towering ice formations and a surreal stillness, transforming one of nature's most powerful sights into a frozen wonder. Between 1938 and 1945, a woman works at a sawmill in New Hampshire, breaking barriers during a time when many stepped into roles left by men at war. Her presence reflects strength, resilience, and the shifting landscape of the American workforce. In 1940, deep in the mountains of Burton's Fork, Kentucky, a woman churns butter, a timeless task rooted in rural tradition. Her steady hands and quiet focus reflect a way of life built on simplicity, self-reliance, and daily hard work. A hay baling crew works near Florence, Montana. A steam tractor pulls 2 carts along a dirt road, followed by a horse-drawn carriage. A vivid glimpse of the shift from horsepower to machinery in the American countryside. In 1905, the Arizona Club stood as one of the liveliest spots in Las Vegas, a symbol of the Old West, where saloons, gambling, and desert nightlife shaped the town rising from the sands of Nevada. June 1859. A group of pioneers camps near Denver, possibly in Riley's Gulch. Carrying the motto, "Pikes Peak or Bust," they chased the dream of gold, facing hardship and uncertainty in search of a new life in the Colorado mountains. In 1897, gold miners stand outside their log cabin in Jasper, Colorado. After long, grueling days in the mines, this quiet moment captures the tough routine of those chasing fortune in the mountains, between hope, hardship, and isolation. Around 1879, a group crosses the Red River by ferry near Fort Abercrombie, North Dakota. Men, women, horses, and a covered wagon make the trip, while others wait patiently on the far side for their turn to journey on. In 1916, this one-room schoolhouse in Anthoston, Kentucky, was heated by a pot-belly stove at its center. Simple and practical, it brought students of all ages together, sharing the space, the desks, and their hopes on chilly winter days. Times Square in 1928, a swirl of lights, trolleys, and billboards shaping the beating heart of New York. Captured by George Rinehart, this moment reveals a city on the edge of modern times, buzzing with motion, ambition, and endless possibilities. In 1907, Sam Whitaker prepares a meal at the iconic LS Ranch Chuck Wagon near Tascosa, Texas. Captured by famed cowboy photographer Irwin Smith, this image honors the camp cook, an unsung hero of the American West's long cattle drives. In the 1890s, a woman stands in front of her sod house in Nebraska, holding a shovel and a binocular case. A cook stove and chicken coop sit nearby, a quiet snapshot of prairie life, where resourcefulness was key to surviving the open frontier. Around 1910, a Native American family stands in front of their home in Slabtown, near the bay in Traverse City, Michigan. Built from leftover lumber mill slabs, the modest house reflects both the hardships and resilience of the community. In 1910, John Broughton, a salesman for the Dr. Koch Vegetable Tea Company, stops to take an order at the modest shack of the Seller family in North Dakota. The scene captures a moment where traveling commerce met rural American life. A southern Ohio family proudly poses beside their new washing machine in 1911. The photo captures the excitement over a domestic innovation that was beginning to transform the daily lives of American households in the early 20th century. Card games and lively gatherings were popular pastimes in Old West saloons like this one in Southern California, circa 1890 to 1900. These establishments served as key social hubs in the fast-growing frontier towns. In the late 1890s, students in Fayette County, Kentucky, rode to school in a horse-drawn wagon. This was their school bus, traveling dirt roads and open fields. A quiet journey toward learning in a world far removed from modern times. Deep in the woods of Manistee, Michigan, a lumbering crew loads heavy logs onto a massive big-wheel device. At the height of the timber industry, this was how felled trees were hauled from forest to rail, one load at a time. In 1896, Cripple Creek, Colorado, buzzed with construction. The once small town was booming, fueled by gold and the promise of fortune. Each hammer swing raised more than buildings. It lifted the hopes of all who came seeking a fresh start. Philadelphia, 1843. This daguerreotype captures bustling Chestnut Street between 2nd and 3rd. One of the earliest urban images in the U.S., it shows storefronts, elegant facades, and a rare glimpse of daily life in the heart of a young America. San Francisco, 1919. A full-service Shell station from a time when fueling your car came with personal attention. Uniformed attendants handled everything from gas to oil checks, capturing the charm of the golden age of motoring. Around 1890, a family stands outside their log home in Green River, Utah. Snow on the ground and heavy coats hint at a harsh winter. In the stark frontier landscape, their cabin stands as a symbol of resilience and pioneer spirit in the American West. In 1881, photographer Edward Dossetter captured the Nawiti village of Swamdasby on Hope Island, off Vancouver Island's northeast coast. The houses display boldly painted family crests, a vibrant testament to the rich Kwakiutl heritage of the Pacific Northwest. Camping in style with a 1927 Chevrolet house truck, an early RV built for adventure. Long before modern campers hit the road, families used clever conversions like this to travel, live, and explore the open countryside with freedom and resourcefulness. In the 1890s, a ferry crosses the Ouachita River near Monroe, Louisiana. Back when bridges were scarce, river crossings like this were essential for connecting communities and moving goods through the heart of the American South. In 1875, Colorado, simple cabins like this sheltered miners chasing fortune in the Rocky Mountains. Rough wood, solitude, and hope defined the daily life of these pioneers in the golden dream of the American West. A slice of old Baltimore. In the 1880s, Howard Street bustled with streetcars, storefronts, and hurried footsteps. It was the city's beating heart, where Victorian charm met the first signs of modern progress. In 1940, Walter Gaylord and his son crossed the snow in Waitsfield, Vermont, hauling a sled filled with maple sap. The sweet liquid, tapped from the trees, will be boiled down into classic maple syrup, a true taste of New England winters. In Detroit, during the 1860s or 1870s, the John Hopkins Carriage and Wagon Shop was at the heart of mobility. Among wheels and tools, craftsmen hand-built the vehicles that kept the city moving, long before the age of the automobile. In August 1886, Dorsey's cabin stood alone in the Smoky Mountains, near the middle fork of Little River in Tennessee. Built from rough timber, it was a quiet symbol of the simple, resilient life of early settlers in this remote mountain region. In 1905, New York City's Bowery bustled with pedestrians, carriages, and the rumble of the elevated train above. The street captured the vibrant pace of early 20th century urban life, full of movement, noise, and the diverse stories of those passing through. Four mounted Texas Rangers from Captain Brooks's company hose at the end of an iron and wooden bridge in 1892. With steady posture and distinctive uniforms, they reflect the frontier law presence in the late 19th century American West. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like to support our work. I've selected 2 videos for you to continue diving into the story. See you in the next video.